When I work on a picture, I do lots of rough sketches, sort of preparation work, because I can't use sort of pencil drawings. You know, lots of people draw picture on the pencil, then use pen and ink or watercolor or whatever. I always have to draw directly on a white paper without any drawings with pencil. That means, however complicated the picture is, I have to do it without any guidelines, which means I have to draw a lot beforehand and put everything in my head and then start working. And if I make a mistake, then I have to repeat all over again. So that's my work method, which means I spend lots of time just for preparation. And when I start drawing, it's rather quick. But often I make mistakes, so I have to do the same picture again and again. But it's like, if I do a book, which is 32 pages, I probably draw about 200 pictures. Then I put everything in my head, and then I start work on the final pictures with pen and ink and watercolor. That's how I work.
Okay. Two more questions. And for many decades now, there's been like this manga boom, no? And I've read that you work for the Tokyo Underground people and that group. What is your idea about manga? And well, I mean, manga is not new. As Hokusai did manga, no?
Yes.
So what is your approach to that? And the thing that many people, I mean, here in Germany, wherever, they're drawing manga, no? What do you think about that, like, globalization of manga?
Yeah, actually, the manga, the idea of manga is, to me, is like this Tezuka, Osamu Tezuka's comics, manga. But this manga, which is very popular all over the world now, is actually, I have almost no idea what they are like. I stopped reading manga about 25 years ago or 30 years ago, and I haven't seen much since. But the format of manga or comics is very interesting, because I have, all my life, I've done picture books, which is very different thing. And this picture book is a bit like, more like a poetry, and the manga is more like a play, theater, because manga story told in dialogue, conversations, I mean in speech bubbles. But picture book have a minimum amount of text and big pictures. But I'm still very interested in manga structure. So I'm trying to do it. I've done it once, the book called the Comic Adventure Books, which is manga sort of format. But I want to do it more, or again, but I need to learn the method of manga. But the other thing is, I'm very interested in Western, European and American manga or comics, especially the old American comics, like the early 20th century, like the Nemo in Slumberland or Crazy Cat and stuff like that. And also there are very good mangas in like countries in like Canada or France, and also Israel, and they are very interesting. And yeah, I want to be a manga artist one day too.
That'll be great. Look forward to it. And one final question, Mr. Kitamura. When you draw, when you think about publishing your books and everything, we were talking recently with Otoko, your wife, and that we like both Tutsui Yasutaka, no? And I read an interview written by him, and he said that his only goal in writing and everything was to entertain, that he didn't want to express anything beyond entertainment. What is your approach to that? Do you want only to entertain, or do you want to say something more profound, if you can say that, or you want to express something to the world?
That's interesting, this that you mentioned Tutsui. It's one of the most distinguished writers in Japan. He's a science fiction writer originally. But he said when the goal of his writing is to entertain, it's maybe you can't take it in the face value, because he probably do more than that, and he intends to do more than that, and he does. And in my case, I don't really use the word like entertain. I don't really. Basically, I try to enjoy myself doing it, but also hoping the readers, especially children, would enjoy it. I don't know, the word entertainment, or to entertain, is like going to an American film, see an American film, and just have a fun, that kind of thing. But I don't know, I want, maybe I want to reader to feel a little inspired or something. It's like, you know, when I see when I read a very good book, or see a good film, or even to listen to the music, I start to imagine things. Like if you read a very good story, then you finish it, then you start imagining what's going to happen next. So you stay in the world you've just read. If the book is bad, you don't do that. You just try to forget it, or you just forget it. So I want to create a world that you may want to stay a little bit and continue to create by yourself. So I'm sure lots of people have that kind of feeling. If you read a very good book, you just think about it again and again, and then you may add something to it. And that's, I hope I could do it myself, you know, the readers, especially children, looking at my pictures and then start imagining things. That's probably the kind of goal I want to have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kitamura. One final thing, I saw that you brought your kamishibai with you. Would you like to explain to us what a bit like that and show us what it is?
I use this thing called kamishibai, which is this is kamishibai is it's paper and shibai is theater. This started maybe 70, 80 years ago in Japan, and this is in the early days, a man on a bicycle with the theater on the back came to the city street corners and tell the stories with pictures inside. And then they sold sweets to kids. That's how they made money. And they did the stories, continuous stories every evening. They come back every evening and to tell the next stories. And anyway, it's finished in the early 60s. This thing called kamishibai in the street is all gone, finished, because by then the television became very popular. So the kamishibai died. But anyway, it's still live on in Japan in schools or libraries. And anyway, I use this at occasions like this in book festivals and so on. And so maybe I'll show you, this is all my original stories, so not the traditional kamishibais. But anyway, I'll show you one story. Just a second. Okay, the first one is not a story. In fact, the original Kamibushi theater frame has doors like this, but I made it with curtains. So this is not the conventional Kamibushi theater. Anyway, when I do that, this is not a story. I do this because when sometimes the audience is very small, like 2 or 3 years old, and sometimes they don't understand stories, so I did something simple. This is like a game, guessing game. So I say, what is? And nobody understands, you can't guess. So this is, you see, it's like a cat. And then, what's this? It's a dog. And this. And what's this? Like this. Anyway, it goes like this. And then, now, what's this? Rabbit. Yes. Yeah. So it goes on like this. So anyway, and then later on, yeah, then comes like this. This is simple, and then oh, sorry, stuck here. So this is I cut the paper, black paper, and stuck on this here. So this and this is the same thing, and it gets a little more complicated. Now, what's this? This is a rain at night. No. Now this is more difficult. This is like this. And then and then now what's this? Yes. Wow. And the last one. This is actually 2 years ago. I was invited to this book festival in India. So I did this for India. Wow. Okay. Next one will be a story. Just a second.